Thank you, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Golden Speakers meeting. It is September 22nd, Tuesday night at 7:45 for our regular weekly meeting. Our club mission is to have the mission of a Toastmasters club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Let's hear it for our mission. Do we have any guests? Is Jyoti still considered a guest?
No, he has joined.
He's a member.
Yay.
The prodigal son has returned.
Congratulations, Jyoti. Welcome back to the fold. All right, so we don't have any guests. We do have a speech for tonight, I believe. Is that true, Jean? Yes. Do we have a speech?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay. Awesome. I believe by Bob.
No, no, you need to hand off to the Toastmaster because you're kind of tripping around here a little.
Well, I just like to. I know.
You want to get us like excited.
Yeah.
All right. Well, given that amazing introduction, I will pass it off to our Toastmaster for tonight's meeting, who is can someone tell me who the Toastmaster is?
Jean.
Who?
Jean.
Jean. Oh, okay. Jean Symington Craig, take it away.
Well, thank you. As your Toastmaster this evening, I will mention that the theme of the day is trees. Quotes, we have two. Quote, trees do not preach learning and precepts. They preach, undeterred by particulars, the ancient law of life. And that's by Hermann Hesse, philosopher and writer. Another quote, the creation of 1,000 forests is in one acorn. And that's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So we're all about trees tonight. And in order to conduct our meeting, we do have roles and role players. So with that, I'd like to start with our timer, Bob Fogel, who will tell us how he'll be timing the various parts of the meeting.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Tonight I am the timers, and my role is to time everyone. First of all, I believe Carmen is the one who's going to give us a speech this evening. And so we'll start with Carmen. Carmen has prepared a speech, and that will be at 5 minutes, will be green. And at 6 minutes will be yellow. And 7 minutes will be red. And then at which time, Carmen, you'll have 30 seconds to wrap it up. Our table topics this evening is 1 to 2 minutes. Green is 1 minute. Yellow, 1.5 minutes. And red at 2 minutes. And again, you'll have 30 seconds to wrap that up. And I believe our evaluator tonight will be, is it Jyoti? Are you the evaluator, or Dan's the general or the overall? But I thought, Jyoti, you're doing table topic.
Table topic evaluator, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And so the table topics evaluator, you'll have 2 minutes to do that. I did that right? Yeah, 2 minutes. And then, of course, that's green. And then yellow's at 2.5 minutes. And, of course, red's at 3 minutes. And Dan Craig, he will be our general evaluator for this evening.
Right.
And, of course, Dan, you, again, have 2 minutes at green.
No.
No?
General evaluator takes a longer time. The speech evaluator is Jean tonight.
So that's who you're thinking. That's who you want to be looking at as the speech evaluator, Bob.
Going to have 2 to 3 to evaluate.
Okay. So Jean's the speech evaluator,
Right.
which is 2 minutes at green, right?
Yeah.
2.5 at yellow, and 3, correct?
Correct. Mhm.
Okay. And then you are general evaluator. Is that, I got that right?
Yes, I have a 4-minute slot at the end.
Okay. So, all right.
Just give me your round.
We got, all right. I think I got all my bases covered, right?
Very good.
So, and then at the end of the meeting, I will give my timer's report.
Yay, very good. All right, thank you, Bob. Our next role player is our grammarian, and that would be Art Atkinson.
As the grammarian, I have 2 aspects to my role. One is to listen for creative and elegant use of English. And on the flip side of that, to listen for any English which ought to be improved or corrected. The other aspect of my role is to choose a word of the evening, which I have put in the chat. The word of the evening is prolific. Speaking of an animal or a plant, meaning producing abundant fruit or leaves or offspring. Prolific of a person means producing much work, such as music or writing. An example of the former use would be Susan's flower garden was prolific this summer. An example of that applied to a person, John McPhee is a prolific author. I'll be listening for uses of the word prolific and include that in my report at the end. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Art. How providential, yes, Bob.
Question I meant to do on my timer's report. Are we going to have a 2-minute, when Carmen gets done speaking, a 2-minute evaluation?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. And now the Toastmaster,
Yes.
yeah, no, that's all right. That's always kind of understood.
Okay.
And Toastmaster will ask you to time that
Okay.
for the group.
Thank you, Jean.
Okay. And how great it is that we have prolific as a word, since our theme tonight is in fact a plant, a very venerable, ancient lineage of trees, which we hope are prolific for the rest of eternity, although there are challenges now. Now we'd like to hear from our counter, Aaron Russell.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters. As the counter, it's my job to note various words and sounds that are used as a crutch or filler words as people speak. During the meeting, I will listen for these words and sounds such as well, so, like, but, repeats or Xeroxes or any other phrases or words that I hear. And I will give a report of these at the end of the meeting. Back to you, Madam.
Thank you. All right. Very good. Of course, we will hear from our general evaluator, Dan Craig, later in the meeting, as will we hear from our greeter joke master, Art Atkinson. You know, it's just something special when we get a joke from Art. So we have that to look forward to. All right. Now, as a Toastmaster, we're ready to move on to the main section of our meeting. Tonight we have a speech by Carmen Antacona. I am her evaluator, and I will read the objectives for her speech. She is doing her first project in level 3. It's titled Presenting a Proposal, or Present a Proposal. The purpose of the project is for the member to practice developing and presenting a proposal. I mean, how useful is that going to be for your life's activities? The member completing this project has spent time developing a proposal for some part of his or her life. The member will deliver a well-organized speech about his about her proposal. The proposal may affect any area of the member's personal or professional life or the Toastmasters Club. The member may present the entire proposal or aspects of it. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. The style of the speech should fit the content. And by the way, the speech is not to be a report on the content of the present a proposal project. Regarding, I'm just gonna introduce Carmen. Carmen works as a quality manager and research technician at Health Research Institute. She is living in Fairfield now for more than 3 years and was previously living in Southern California, where she actually was a Toastmaster as well at that time, as I recall. She enjoys her work and has a son who is attending the University of Iowa. She's been a member of Golden Speakers Toastmasters since 2018. My, how time flies. She is in the lead right now in our club in terms of pathways, and she's the first person hitting our level 3 level. So I'm very proud of her, very excited to hear her speech. And without further ado, let's go ahead and warmly welcome Carmen on, and her speech is again titled Minimalism. Thank you, Carmen.
Going to share my screen.
Okay. And we might also, it's been suggested just during Carmen's speech to mute ourselves. But once we're done, we can get back to that and we'll see how it goes. If she has us laughing uncontrollably, I think she'd want to hear that. So we'll go off mute if she's doing that.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and viewers at home. At this point of my life, I have chosen to be a minimalist. For this reason, I am decluttering my home. This is an ongoing project. My goal is to develop a simple environment at home and work where I can feel happy and relaxed and do not feel overwhelmed with clutter all over the place. I'm starting in 3 different areas: in my bedroom, my kitchen, and my office. In my bedroom, I am applying Marie Kondo's rule, and I am decluttering all my clothes. In my kitchen, I am avoiding single-use items and decluttering all small kitchen items. And in my office, I am cleaning the surface and I am embracing open spaces. In my bedroom, I am following Marie Kondo's technique. Marie Kondo is a Japanese organizing consultant, and she said that you have to keep everything that sparks joy. She has a bestseller called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. And I am starting this technique. I start with my clothes, the ones that are old, and the ones that have the colors that are fading out. I got rid of those. I did this not only for my clothes, but also for my bags, for my shoes, and so on. Now my closet looks very nice. In my kitchen, I am avoiding single-use items. And I have, as you can see, a pizza cutter. The pizza cutter that I never use. I have that pizza cutter so many years ago. I brought it from California to here, and I never use it. I can imagine just how many things I have to buy in the market, and also how much time do I have to prepare and cook the pizza. And I almost realized that I am one call away to call the pizzeria and to make a fresh pizza delivered at my door in 15 minutes. So I got rid of my pizza cutter. I'm decluttering small appliances also. The ones that are just getting so cluttered in my kitchen cabinets. And last but not least, my office. There is a trick that says that if you clean the surface on your desk, that is going to give you the feel of what you want it to be. So when I cleaned that up, I was feeling really, really happy and really relaxed. So right now I am embracing open spaces, and I am putting my books, my paperwork, and my pencils and pen in one single space. What are the advantages of being a minimalist and decluttering your home and feeling more happy and relaxed? Therefore, I'm feeling less stressful in my daily life every single day. Also, I'm saving money. I'm just thinking that every single item that I'm using at home or that I order at my home, how much does it really cost? And when you just add it up, it is an unbelievable amount of money. And of course, when you have less stuff, it's easier to clean. But at the same time, what are the disadvantages? Actually, this is not easy to apply in life. Actually, we are all kind of lazy when we are doing these things. As many people, I enjoy going to the mall and buy at least one thing, not to go back home with my empty hands. Moreover, the relationship between people and the stuff is complex. And I can see that, for example, when I have a lot of boxes from California that I brought here, and they are full of sports trophy from my child, from my son, also clothes, baby clothes, things that have a sentimental memory for me, but my child is not a child anymore. My son is 25 years old, so the boxes are still there. At the end, what I want in my life is balance. And that balance is gonna make me happier, and it's gonna make me to become more effective in my life and pursue other interests and passions from now on. Thank you, Madam Toastmasters.
Well, thank you very much for that, Carmen. And Mr. Timer, would you please give us 2 minutes And if you could, everyone, put your comments in a private chat to Carmen in the chat, so she can get those, save them, and just read them. So let's go ahead and time that, Bob.
Okay, I'm ready to roll.
Okay.
And we're off.
All right. Now, as Toastmaster, I'm going to go ahead and have us move on to table topics. I did find one of my clubs. We had this conversation before about whether the evaluator needs to go right after the speaker. And I believe it was, well, it was one of the clubs that I'm the area director for. They did it the other way, just routinely. So I think it makes sense when we only have one speaker to do it that way. Now, I didn't organize it that way in the agenda, but let's just go ahead and move on to table topics, and we will have 20 minutes for that.
Okay. We'll go till 8:33.
No, because oh yeah, so we're at 8:13 already, huh?
We need to chop 3 minutes off.
Okay, so let's just say maybe 16 minutes. Okay, so that'll be, what is that, 8:29?
Yeah.
Or 8:30. Okay, so there we go.
Works for me.
Okay.
All right. As the table topics evaluator, I have some questions related to trees and the like. Who would like to speak first on their love of trees? Not all at once. Dan, did you raise your hand?
I did.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. Pick a number, Dan, through 1 through 6.
3.
Dan, did you ever climb trees as a child? And if so, what was that experience like? And if not, why?
Thank you, Mr. Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters. I actually did not climb trees during my childhood. The why, I believe, is maybe I was afraid of heights. But it's just not something I did. But on that subject, it occurs to me that there's really some amazing experiences that people have when they climb trees. For example, the really big trees out on the West Coast, the redwoods or the huge Douglas firs. There are people that gear themselves up like mountain climbers, go up into the tops of those trees and experience a completely different world. It's just incredible up there, up high. Sometimes there are even, certain types of insects or frogs or things that only exist up in the treetops. But obviously there's quite a vista up there too. So even though I can't, I guess, walk the walk, I can talk the talk and say that I wish in my hopeful self that I could actually learn to climb trees. And as long as I'm going to learn to climb trees, why not climb the really big ones and make an amazing experience out of it? The views would be incredible. The excitement would be wonderful. The experience would just be prolific with the incredible variety of things to see. Thanks.
Thank you, Dan. Bob, did I see you raise any flags during that speech?
Oh.
Okay, I must have missed it.
I saw green.
Oh, okay.
I saw them all.
You might
Okay.
hold them up. Just continue holding them.
I was doing them incognito. Okay, I'll bring them a little higher next time, okay?
All right, thank you. Who would like to go next? Art. Awesome, thank you. 1, 2, 4, 5, or 6, Art?
1.
All right. Art, for Christmas, do you typically use real trees or fake Christmas trees for your decoration? And why? Why do you make that choice?
Thank you, Mr. Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and guests viewing from everywhere. As a youth growing up in my family, my parents always got a live, small Christmas tree. And I adopted that strategy with my own children for a few years. And then we came to Fairfield, where there were Christmas tree farms close at hand where you could cut a live tree that had been grown for Christmas trees. And we switched to using live Christmas trees. Never have used metal or artificial Christmas trees. But I felt moved by this topic to talk about an occasion on which I did the hardest physical work in my whole life, planting trees on a slash and burn clear cut in the mountains of Western Oregon, in areas that were boulders, big limbs down, rocks and mud, and slant 45-degree angles, working all day, planting Douglas fir seedlings to reforest clear-cut areas. And it was the hardest physical work I would ever do. I earned $45 doing it for a week. I didn't go back for a second week. Thank you for the opportunity to share that story.
Thank you, Art. Excellent. Who would like to go next? Jean. Thank you. Let's see. 2, 4, 5, or 6?
Five. Okay, wait. Maybe I should do.
No, too late.
Maybe I should-
No, you already picked it. No, you'll like this one. This is you're going to answer the age-old question. If a tree falls in the woods and there's no one around to hear it, does it make a sound? Why or why not?
Great question, Mr. Table Topics Master and fellow Toastmasters and viewers at home. If a tree falls in the woods and no one hears it, and I'm presuming no one means a human, does it really fall? Does it really count? To answer that question, I'm going to tell you that the book that I'm currently reading, it's called The Overstory by Richard Powers. It won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction in 2019. it is a fascinating book with intersections between forests, trees, forests, humans, that spans generations. And I am finding that it's changing my life. And looking at trees is never going to be the same for me. So to answer that question, it sounds very human-centric, that, okay, humans give validity and confirmation, and if humans aren't around, then reality didn't happen. But in fact, what I'm learning a lot, and this book incorporates a lot of science and discoveries and experiments about trees, and more importantly, their groupings. They, in terms of forests, how interwoven and living and ancient they are, housing just untold numbers and levels of life and vitality. I would say that when a tree falls and if no human hears it, it's still a significant event in the awareness and the life force of the forest. And it's just my view now that trees and forests are not dependent on humans for confirmation of existence.
Thank you, Jean. Who would like to go next? Bob, thank you. Bob, let's see. We got 2, 4, or 6.
2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Aaron. We'll go 2.
All right. Trees.
Would someone like to time me?
Oh, I can time you, Bob.
Okay.
Thank you for stepping in, Jean.
Mhm.
Bob, trees go through changes every year as the seasons go through their thing. From the first buds of spring to the lush growth of summer, color changes in the fall, and the snow-covered wonderland of winter. What is your favorite season when it comes to trees?
Well, thank you for that question, Mr. President. As an avid trekker, I love trekking through the woods. When I was married, I always took my children out to the woods, and we got to see all seasons of the woods. As far as my favorite season, that's a tough choice, because in the springtime, we ride motorcycles up the hills and try to make it without rolling back down. That's always fun. And in the wintertime, we tried toboggan, and we tried missing all the trees that have fallen silently off to the wayside. And the summertime, we like getting out there, and I love that season just as well, because you can see all the beauty of the nature. And of course, springtime, when you're out there, you're kind of muddy, you're out there, and the briars are scratching on you, and the ants are crawling out, and the bugs are crawling on you, the ticks are landing on your head, and all those cool experiences. The water's rushing down through the creek line, usually when you go trekking in the woods. So to answer your question, I believe out of all 4 seasons, springtime will probably be the best time I like, because that brings the most life. It gives that awesome feeling on the inside when new things are coming about. We just got out of the dread of winter, and you're watching the ice chunks float down the river as you go trekking through the woods along the creeks. If you go down them by the Mississippi.
Hello.
And If you've ever experienced that, you'll see the ice chunks that are broke up, and they could be as big as a car or sometimes big as a house stacked upon each other as you go out there in the woods. And then you can see the beauty in those trees just coming alive, knowing that another great year is coming forth. Thank you for the question, Mr. Professor.
Thank you, Bob. We've got time for one more. Let's see, we got Jyoti or Carmen.
Jyoti. Jyoti.
Man.
Don't sound so enthused, Jyoti.
Okay, because I'm evaluating this way. Okay.
Oh, that's, well,
Okay,
yeah, that's true.
Carmen, you do it. I evaluate.
Carmen,
Yeah, I can.
you'll evaluate Jyoti?
No, Carmen, do I evaluate?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
Who?
Who's the speaker? Who's the
Who?
speaker?
Are you speaking? Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Jyoti, you're the speaker. Carmen's going to evaluate.
Oh, okay.
There
Okay.
you
Oh,
go.
okay. I thought you were
Okay.
the other way around. Okay.
Well, because we
Okay.
heard from you, Carmen.
Yeah,
I mean,
Carmen
we had
already
a-
spoke.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
evaluate Jody. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Right. Jyoti, pick 4 or 6.
6.
Right. Would you rather be in a busy area, people watching or observing people interacting, or in a more secluded area, surrounded by nature, observing animals and trees and their interaction?
Fellow Toastmasters, guests, and viewers at home. Both places are good, and I cannot choose between these two. I have to be here and there, both the places. But whenever I get chance, I would like to go to that secluded place with nature and be alone and enjoy the nature and see those magnificent creation of the nature. As well, I want to interact with human beings and want to be in a place where there are a lot of people, where I can see people, learn things, interact with them, do some business, earn some money, pay my bills, raise my kids, and live a life. So both these places is like a two part of the balancing, the weighing machine. You know, it's, you have to balance between this life and the life you spend with nature, in the nature, alone. You need time alone too, with people too. You need Toastmasters, you need people there, you need to talk there, speak there, learn things. And you go to those places, enjoy, relax, meditate, just be yourself and enjoy. So in the weighing machine, but one place is a little heavier than the other, that is with nature. I would like to spend much time with nature, but not alone, with my family and few friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Jyoti. With that, I think that wraps up our table topic session. So I'd like to pass it back off to our table or Toastmaster to continue on with the meeting.
Let's just go ahead with table topics evaluator. Jyoti, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay,
Let's have our votes first.
that's right.
Oh, true.
Aaron, you take care of that one.
Yes, let's vote for, well, first, who qualifies?
Qualifies.
Mr. Timer.
Everyone qualified.
Jean, did Bob qualify?
Bob qualified. And Bob, could you read the names just because?
Oh, sorry. Dan qualified. Art qualified. Jean qualified. I qualified. Jyoti qualified.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Let's everyone send me a private chat for who you feel was the best table topic speaker.
No, it goes to me this time.
Oh, right. Send it to the Toastmaster. Jean.
Right.
At this time, I would like to call upon our table topics evaluator, Jyoti Raj, to give his report on our table topic speakers tonight.
Hello, Toastmasters guests and viewers at home. Everybody did a fantastic job today. I cannot see them full size, but I can just see the passport photo size. So this was a good experience. This was my first time evaluating in this type of setup. I'll try my best. So I'll start with Dan Craig. He was fantastic as usual. He has a very good smile, and he greeted the audience and answered the question directly that I liked. And then a little bit he segue and tells his story. That is a good thing to do. He has a very good facial expression, but I wanted to see a little bit of movement and a little bit of hand. When you say big tree, then you should have done like big tree. That would be great to see. That would add more value to your speech. Art was also very good, as usual. He greeted the audience. His speech was very good. He told us a story about his tree planting and all. I enjoyed it. The only thing was he had a less facial expression than before. So that is only one thing I want to recommend him, that while we are in this video, I can only see your face. So if you have a little bit of movement and facial and eye expression, that will add more value to your speech. Jean was, as usual, fantastic, good. You took a while to answer the question because it was a tricky one and you need that time. And you did a pretty good job by telling the book you read and about the tree. You spoke about the tree, and in the end, you answered the question, and the answer was also good. The same thing with you. I want to see more of the moment and head and eyes and all those things. That will add more value to a speech in this setup, I think. That's my personal opinion. And Bob, he was also very good. He talked about his favorite season. One thing I want to say that you greeted like Mr. President, and here he is the table talking master. So in this situation, I would like to see that, so that when he is doing his role as a table topic, it's nice to address him as a table topic master rather than the Mr. President. And as well, when you start your speech, it's always recommended to greet audience and the viewers at home and the Toastmasters. So that would be a good way to start. Otherwise, you have a very good hand gestures. I could see that from here, and it was a fantastic speech. Thank you very much.
I'm going to evaluate Jyoti.
So Bob,
He did
one
yeah.
minute, Bob. 1 minute. You can do this in 1 minute, can't you, Carmen?
Yes.
Just, okay, 1 minute.
Okay.
He did a really good speech. He was greeting the audience. He had good hands gestures, and he explained the reasons why he thinks that he likes busy areas or nature. My suggestion is that at the first couple of sentences, he suggests that he likes both. So I was thinking about that the whole body of this speech is going to be about both. But at the end he says it's nature. So the conclusion, it was about nature. So it would be better to just try to be specific about which one did you choose. But at the end, it was a really good speech. Thank you.
Good.
I think it's about time that I stepped in as general evaluator.
Okay.
Hello, I'm your general evaluator. I'd like to introduce Jean Symington Craig to give us the evaluation of Carmen's speech.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, viewers at home, and particularly Carmen. I must say Carmen was looking very bright and professional tonight, Zoom-wise. Really like the background, like her colors, really shows her face off well. So that's important. I felt she excelled at several things that I'm going to mention now. First, her organization I thought was just impeccable. She had, right from the beginning, the 3 parts of the house. She gave us the overview, the bedroom, the kitchen, the office, and then she further went into each one to break it down further. I knew exactly where we were going and what was happening there, so that was really helpful. She also gave personal stories, which, again, really made her talk richer and more satisfying. She talked about that pizza cutter. We just got one. We're so proud of it. And I was just almost going, oh my God, look, we could have gotten Carmen's. No, you know, her clothes from California. She just brought in personal stories to illustrate the principles she was bringing out in her proposal. I also liked that she gave the benefits, which of course is the always necessary what's in it for me that you want to give to the audience. She gave benefits, and then she also gave what are some disadvantages or challenges. Again, weighing those 2 things and really giving a full picture of what she's proposing. I loved the relationship between people and stuff is complex. I'm going to have to put that on a wall somewhere for myself. And she talked again of stories, sports trophies, child, you know, baby clothes, but her son's 25 years old now. So little tricks and traps that you can get into doing this. She also had engaging graphics. I liked her graphics. I liked each of her slides. They were cute. They were personal. So that was very well done. Things that, in my opinion, she might want to work on. Right at the beginning, there was a phrase called decluttering. And I didn't remember hearing her give a definition of what decluttering is. You kind of could figure it out, and we've all talked about being cluttered, but it could be that it would be useful to just give a definition of what decluttering is. There's also some echo in the mic. So I would suggest for future talks to do some testing ahead of time with someone that you trust and see if you can work out why that mic is having a little bit of an echo chamber background. Also, finally, would suggest putting the slideshow in the slideshow format so that we're not being distracted by the browser and the slides on the side. Just really make it a full slideshow for us. To challenge yourself, I think that it's a proposal. So I think of that as having some element of persuasion for people to take some kind of action. It can be humorous, it can be informational, but it still seems like we're trying to get somebody to do something. So I would want to introduce a quick call to action to the audience to apply what she's presenting. Great job.
Thank you, Jean. Now we've heard from both our evaluators. Let's ask our timer. Bob, did both of our evaluators qualify?
I don't think I did.
Jean qualified and Dan qualified, excuse me.
Amazing, I didn't even do it.
Yeah, so I got her down. Yeah.
How about Jyoti?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, I'm just kidding you.
Hang on a second.
Let's send to the Toastmaster our vote for best evaluator, either Jean or Jyoti.
I feel like the fox in the hen house here.
You're running in all these races.
I know. But Toastmasters, we have honor and integrity.
That's right. Do you have most of your votes?
I have 4. So I should have 5, 6, 5, 6.
Okay.
So let's see.
We could continue. Whoever needs to vote will do it.
Jyoti, just in case you didn't remember these rules, you can vote for whomever you like. But
Yeah, because I spoke, I'm not voting.
Okay, well, you can, just to clarify, you can vote, but only once.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
let's continue with our role reports from our role players. First, we'll hear from our timer, Bob. Please give us your report.
Yes. Thank you. My report is as follows. For table topics, Dan, you had 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Art, 1 minute, 46 seconds. Jean was 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Myself, 2 minutes and 13 seconds. And Jyoti, 1 minute, 42 seconds. On the prepared speech, Carmen had 7 minutes and 14 seconds. And as evaluator, sorry for my confusion, Jyoti had 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Jean had 3 minutes and 25 seconds. And Carmen had 55 seconds.
Okay, great.
Okay.
One thing I was confused about is Jyoti, was he qualified? So it's supposed to be between 3 minutes to 4 minutes, or how was the qual? That was my only question.
Okay.
We didn't clarify it at the beginning, so I don't think it was a big
Let me mention just one thing. I sent Bob a private chat because we did have, I think, 5 people. So I told him to time Jyoti Raj at 3 to 4 minutes. So Jyoti was definitely okay there. But then also, Bob, with evaluation, it can be 30 seconds less than that first number and
Same.
still qualify.
Okay.
Not with table topics. You have to go at 1 minute to qualify, but with an evaluation that's 2 to 3, you could actually do a 1 minute, 30 second and still qualify.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me neither.
Yeah,
You didn't?
I thought you had to have the green to qualify.
For table topics, you do. So if you're under that first number, 1 minute, you don't qualify. But evaluations and speeches,
In the speeches.
if you can be 30 seconds under that, like 5 to 7, you could be 4 minutes, 30 seconds and still qualify.
So
And
my
same with
current,
evaluators. You did it
obviously,
right.
okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Let's hear from our grammarian. Tonight, that's Art.
Well, in my capacity as grammarian, I was listening for poetic and picturesque language. Bob was speaking about ice chunks the size of anywhere from cars to houses. I thought that was pretty visually gripping. Jean was speaking about trees, using the words validated, and the other word, it was quite a strong word, but I have lost in my memory which one it was. I listened. Go ahead.
I had a prolific use of excellent vocabulary, I think is what you're trying to say.
I was not trying to say that. I wanted to know particular words that you used several times.
I know.
Very strong, powerful words. I was listening for prolific and I heard one person use it and I didn't get to take a note who used it.
I actually used it too, but I shouldn't really claim it because I didn't quite use it correctly.
I didn't hear any
I used it twice.
Peace, Gene, peace.
interaction. And I heard a modest amount of the word prolific, but not a prolific amount of it. There's a misuse of the word right there.
Is that negative points for misuse?
That was negative points. That would be my report.
Thank you, Art. Our counter tonight is Aaron. Let's hear your report, please.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Jean had 3 ahs, 3 so's, 1 but, 2 repeats. Dan had 1 and. Art was clean as a whistle.
Yep.
Carmen had 1 so and 1 but. Bob had 2 ahs, 1 1 well, 2 and. Joe T had 3 ahs, 3 so's, and 3 ands. And that's my report.
Okay.
Okay. Our joke master tonight is Art. Is that correct?
That's correct. So a truck driver is going down the freeway in very heavy traffic and sees a sign, low bridge ahead. And before he can get himself out of the traffic, he's under the bridge and his rig gets caught on the top and he's trapped. He can't go forward or back. And traffic is starting to back up for miles behind him. Finally, when a squad car shows up and the officer gets out and comes over and says, got stuck, eh? The reply is, no, sir. I was delivering this bridge and I ran out of gas. I learned something new every day and I forget 5 other things. Soon we'll have the end of daylight savings time. Hope you don't forget to set your bathroom scale back 10 pounds on Saturday night. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Yeah, that's good.
I have a funny story related to Art's joke, but I'll share it afterward.
All right. Thank you for that self-control. We are running a little bit late, so I will speed through my general evaluator's report. I shouldn't need the 4 minutes. You can time me anyway, Bob, but I had 2 excellent evaluators to be giving feedback to. First of all, let me congratulate Jyoti for his return to form, evaluating. He hasn't forgotten anything. He did a wonderful job for us of pointing out things that were praiseworthy in the table topic speeches. He also gave feedback to every person. Excellent. That is the basic job for the table topics evaluator. I won't repeat the various items of praise that you gave, but it was clear that you had listened very carefully. And I thought your suggestions were also quite on point. The one suggestion I have for you really is the use of a word fantastic. For you, it's tonight anyway, it was almost a filler word. So we heard quite a few times that so-and-so was fantastic. So after about the 5th time, I thought, well, Everybody's fantastic. I'm kidding you, but really nice job, and welcome back, and thanks for doing such a good job. Carmen gave a quick evaluation of Jyoti, and she also succeeded in giving praise and feedback in just 55 seconds. That's probably a world's record. So we appreciate that very much. My feedback to you is use the full 60 seconds.
I saw the green card, so I thought it was more than 1 minute.
Okay.
No, really.
It was a little unclear how we were
Okay.
timing, but you
Yeah,
know,
we don't do that very often. And then Jean was the evaluator for Carmen's speech. I'm married to Jean and all, so I'm slightly biased, but that was a wonderful evaluation. Really hit on so many points about what Carmen had done well. I had listened to the same speech. I didn't pick up all those wonderful things. It made me appreciate Carmen's speech even more. And hopefully it made Carmen feel good and make her want to do project 2 in level 3. Keep on going. Jean also gave Carmen some suggestions. Most of them were the kind of nuts and bolts things like putting the slides on full screen. I think the only feedback I could give to Jean would be, it worked out that you gave a whole list of positive feedback, things that had gone well. And at the end, you gave all of your suggestions. I thought it might have worked out nicer to intersperse some suggestions, just as a different way to approach it. The other thing I noticed was, and this was just a function of the clock ticking down, but by the end, you were talking at 45 RPM in a 33 RPM world. It was, it was coming out pretty quick. But as I said before, wonderful evaluation, and we appreciate it. I am done with my presentation, and I'm going to give things back to the Toastmaster for the meeting awards.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. That was great. Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Is that the word of the day? Prolific with your comments and productivity there. All righty, we're coming down the home stretch and we have some awards. So first, our best speaker of the evening, and this does not come as a surprise, but fortunately, she really was a great speaker. Carmen Anticona. Woo! Woo! Okay. Okay, now it's about to get really embarrassing. I mean, really embarrassing. Okay. So I've probably already blown it. All right.
Yeah.
So
we figured it out.
Yeah. All right, we'll just go. So best table topics, and we had excellent table topics tonight. The trees theme was very well covered, but it was me. Yay! Now listen, you guys, you got to clap even though it's me, because I counted the votes. Okay, good. And Dan, you could come in here and look at my chat stream if you wanted to go all accountant on us, or audit on us. Okay, and then best evaluator. Okay, Jean. Okay. All right, well, somehow it's not as satisfying when you're the vote counter as well as the winner. So we'll have to figure out how to do that a little bit better. But anyway, that's it. Those are our meeting awards. And I'm going to turn it back over to our president. And I do have that club business, but we've got 3 minutes to go. So take it away, Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Thank all of you, fellow Toastmasters, for another wonderful meeting. The main point that I have, and I feel like a broken record here, is dues. Art, how are we doing on those? Have we gotten everyone?
Well, after this Zoom meeting finishes, I will be sending the officers a receipt from International for the payment of dues by everybody who is on screen right now. And it will not include Jyoti because he was already paid and up to date before this receipt was generated.
Okay.
So the club is on schedule for the payment of dues. We're ahead of the game.
Excellent.
Great.
Good work, Art.
All right, good work, Art.
Yeah.
And good work, everyone, for sending Art your dues. Anyone have any other business they'd like to bring up at this time? All right. Thank you all very much for another successful meeting. Please stick around to chat if you have the time. But otherwise, we'll see you all next week. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.